This season of anime is honestly not that great. Most of the anime coming out this season is either a generic power fantasy or isekai or a generic rom-com. However, despite this fact, there are still some shows that are pretty decent, and today we're going to be talking about one of those shows in particular, the one known as Inspectre. This anime doesn't get enough love in my opinion. I think this series is really good in so many ways. It's funny, serious, and has good action and drama as well as romance. This series has a lot going for it, but for some reason it doesn't get all that much love. But today I want to talk about the positives and negatives of this anime and make a case for why this anime is a good anime and why it should be checked out by everyone. This series has a very interesting premise where the main character is like a god to yokai, demons, and the like, where she has to go around fixing their problems, solving cases, and being sarcastic as all hell. Every arc of this series has something interesting going on that makes every situation have to be handled differently. Some are dealt through fighting, others are through mind games and strategy. This makes each situation feel unique and makes you wonder just how each one of them is going to be dealt with as the series progresses. There are some issues with this anime in particular, however, which is that some of these get way more focused than others. Like in the first season, we had one of these cases go for like 6 or 7 episodes when the others were solved in like 1 or 2 previously. This makes the pacing of the series feel really bad and definitely can throw people off, which is one of the things that I think happened in season 1. However, despite the weird pacing, I think the series has enough redeeming qualities to it that makes it worthwhile. I mean, look at One Piece, its terrible pacing hasn't ruined its popularity in the slightest, so I don't really see why it should affect Inspectre all that much either. Let's get into one of the biggest positives of this series and start talking about its characters, because that to me is one of the series' biggest strong suits. But before we do that, it would be awesome if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. I make new anime, manga, and webtoon content every single week on a variety of different series and topics. The characters in the series are one of the biggest highlights of the series for sure. All of them have great personalities. The interactions between a lot of the characters, especially the main two, makes for some really good comedy that always makes me laugh but also doesn't really take away from the series moments at all. Speaking of the main two characters, they definitely make this show in more than just their comedic interactions with each other. There's a lot of history between the two of them as well as before they met. The stories of the two characters really makes them a lot more likable and makes the dark humor this series uses way funnier than it ever would have been before. A lot of the side cast is pretty good as well, both on the human and yokai or demon side of things. A lot of the yokai and demons have great personalities that makes you feel for their situations or makes you root for them, which is cool to see. The human side characters don't appear as much and don't have as good of personalities as the yokai or demon characters do. However, that is mostly because the series is focused more on the yokai and demons and not so much on the human problems unless their problems involve a yokai or demon. But I still like them as characters as well. The characters are a big part of what makes the series so entertaining, and the subtle development we get with the two main characters of the series is also great as it goes on. You can really see them growing closer as the series progresses, even if it's only in some subtle ways. The main antagonist of the series being connected to the two of them is also really cool and makes the series way more interesting because now it isn't just a series about solving problems with yokai and demons, but also is a series about finding and stopping someone who is extremely dangerous by any means necessary. Having that connection makes the stakes way higher as well, because you know it's not easy for the main characters to stop them even if you know they have to. That tension really builds upon the bigger arcs in the series and makes them feel like they matter a lot more to the overall story than some of the smaller arcs do, which makes watching and not skipping them all the more worthwhile. The animation in this anime is pretty average. It's not bad, but it's not great either. There are some really good moments in the series for sure, but for the most part, scenes are just kinda still shot after still shot when talking. However, when action starts to happen, it really picks up the pace and it actually becomes pretty good. So if you wanted an anime that had godlike animation, then this one definitely isn't it. However, it's not terrible either, it's just solid, pretty average, maybe slightly above average, but still good. Despite everything I said about the animation, I do like the art direction of the series. The character designs are always really good, especially when it comes to the yokai and demons. There is also some solid lighting throughout the anime that makes some scenes really have this mystical look to them, and it really helps enhance some of the scenes in the anime. There is another thing that is pretty average in this anime, and that's the music. It's okay, I like most of the tracks, but I don't absolutely love any of them. I think there are a few tracks in particular that fit really well with the vibe of the anime, but for the most part, it's just generic anime music. And the OPs for both seasons are pretty decent. I like both of them, but not enough to listen to them outside of the anime, which overall is how I feel about pretty much all the music in this anime. It's just okay. Inspectre is an anime that I recommend for those who like supernatural series with a few comedic moments in there for good measure. This series is fun, has interesting characters, and overall is just pretty solid. This series definitely has its flaws, from the not so great pacing to the animation and music being pretty average, but overall I would still say that this series is a positive experience and that you should check it out if you've never given it a shot before.